The college baseball experience, East Carolina Pirates 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up, and when you do, sign up with that promo code TCE SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college baseball experience. East Carolina Pirates 2025 season preview episode. ECU. YouTube.com/the college experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe button. We're also available wherever podcasts can be found: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all that shit. Get on over there. All right, and I am delighted to talk about the East Carolina Pirates. I just feel like from the start, let's just go into it. Before I introduce myself, we're home here.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
In the spirit of ECU, we believe every moment there was nothing that we couldn't do. We set out to defend our name, and now we'll never
wait for the sax.
Be the same. Never be the same.
Yes, we will never be the same. That is our theme song here on the College Baseball Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend, and ECU. Well, obviously my favorite team. Obviously, I spent time there, and I'm an ECU guy through and through. All right, purple and gold through and through. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to,
on those Greenville streets.
Oh yeah, I got a ECU football helmet right here. I got a Jeff Blake action figure right there. We got it all. All right. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name. Whoa! Didn't mean to do that. My name is Colby Dant, Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
Yes, we are home when talking about the East Carolina Pirates. I mean, this team hasn't had a losing season since 2010 under Billy Godwin, but Cliff Godwin has got this thing rolling. We're going to talk all about it. I am joined by my co-host. He is the heart and soul of the College Baseball Experience. He's also the man on the boards behind the scenes on the College Football Experience and the College Basketball Experience, which check those out if you're an ECU fan or just a fan of the sports. Give it up. And he's boarding a flight in about less than 24 hours to go to opening day college baseball action. Give it up for the great Noah Bieniek. How are you, brother?
Let's have some fun, Colby. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but back when like the NCAA football games were popular, I know the 25 one just came out last year, but I and my buddies, we'd create a league, very competitive group of friends. And my created program was East Carolina. I loved the colors. I loved the skull and crossbones. So East Carolina has always been one of the schools that I've been a fan of when it comes to the mid-major ranks, and a lot of my college fandoms, when it comes to just casual rooting interests, are based around successful baseball programs. And there are very few that have been better than East Carolina, and I'm hoping that they knock the door down to Omaha soon.
Yeah, I mean that's great to hear that, by the way, because it's funny. Obviously I spent time at ECU, but before that, I kind of got into it in a video game in the NCAA football. But in the '90s, it was I believe '96 that edition or '97 when they had Marcus Crandell at the quarterback spot. But that kind of like was my first introduction to ECU there. Pre David Garrard and stuff, but they have a great football program. The basketball program is getting better, but the baseball program is rocking. The Jungle is probably, and I'm biased, so I'd love to hear your take on this, but
safe prediction top 15, but you can go ahead and do the not.
I mean, Clark LeClaire Stadium is just absolute fire. I plan to get out there a lot this season, get out to some games. If you're an ECU fan, hit me up on Twitter.
A little birdie told me that was the main reason why you moved back to Carolina.
You're goddamn right. You are goddamn right. I already did purchase some tickets for a neutral site game down there in Fayetteville, North Carolina, as they take on Gardner Webb. We'll talk the schedule in a little bit. But Cliff Godwin, man, I mean, we've been blessed with his presence at the helm for a good amount of 15. He's been absolutely fantastic. As you can see right now, we have slides on this, youtube.com/the college experience. Jump on over there. They were 46-17 in 2024, 19-8 in the AAC. And by the way, we're going for a 6th straight AAC regular season championship. We were 29-6 at home, 13-9 on the road. So obviously the road, 4-2 in the neutral site games. And Cliff Godwin, his career record 397 and 187 and 1 with 8 NCAA tournament appearances, 4 super regionals. Now he hasn't gotten that College World Series appearance, and we're hoping this is the year. NCAA tournament record is 21-18. But overall, your opinions on Cliff and what he's done with this program.
Well, I think he does it the right way, first and foremost. And given the length that he's been at this school, of course, it's the place that he played at, but just the passion he has for the program and the school, to not be willing to take other jobs, I think speaks volumes. And East Carolina is in a great spot when it comes to specifically like the teams that they've had in years past. They've been really, really good baseball teams, and they got a couple of death draws in some super regionals. I mean, when you circle a couple of places that you don't want to travel to, Lubbock being is one at the top. I know they played Vanderbilt in another one of those supers. They hosted Texas just recently, and that was unlucky in itself because of a fucking monsoon going through during that weekend. But last year, the Achilles heel of this team was just injuries, man. They couldn't stay healthy. It was a really special roster, in my opinion, with a first rounder in the 2024 MLB draft in Trey Savage, possibly a first rounder in the 2025 draft in Zach Root. Unfortunate that it couldn't amount to something bigger and better. They still got the host, but there was some drama behind the scenes that I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit. How can you not? But yeah, Cliff Godwin, I think he's a pretty damn good ball coach.
Yeah. And look, these slides are fantastic. Let's jump over to the next one. The pitching at ECU in 2024, I think, would you say that's been their defining? I don't know. They have bats some of these years.
Yeah. But they're just a really talented all around team. Last year, I thought they had just premier talent on the mound, but in other years, it's premier position player talent and just good all around arms. Last year, they were special pitching wise, and You had Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman, who was leading the country in saves at one point, and then he goes down, and it was just kind of a domino effect that they really couldn't come back from. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't help but look at this upcoming season and see, the amount of transfers that have came in the pitching staff. They return Ethan Norby, and they're very excited about Sean Jenkins. And Jaden Winter is back, but then they went out and just brought in a slew of transfers here. Nick Moran from the Flaming Libs of Liberty, Ryan Towers from LMU out by me where I lived just recently, just a few weeks back, and Brett Analik from Texas A&M and Brad Pruitt from Oklahoma. I know we got the weekend rotation projected as Norby, Jenkins, the 17-year-old Sean Jenkins, right, and Nick Moran. What do you make of this
about to
pitching
call
staff?
him moron.
Yeah, that was me. That was me in Greenville. I was known as Dundee Moron. But your thoughts on the projected weekend rotation? We got George Mason coming in. My brother, George Mason grad. So we've been talking shit already back and forth. Yeah. Opening day weekend. Mason's projected to be decent there in the A10. So your thoughts on the projected weekend rotation?
Yeah, I don't think East Carolina even knows kind of what's going to happen throughout this season. Cliff Godwin usually likes to have like one of his most reliable pitchers in the bullpen. And from everything that I was reading in the offseason, it was going to be Norby. And we're going to talk about it quite a bit on this episode. But like the pitching injuries already have kind of added up in the preseason here. I don't know how or why it's happening once again to East Carolina. And I think Norby got bumped from being like a leverage arm, bulk arm out of the bullpen to being the Friday night guy. Last year he did start 10 games. He appeared in 20. What I believe they usually did was he was coming out of relief on Fridays and then starting Sunday's games with the amount of injuries they had last year on the pitching staff. He was a total rubber arm for this team. He's not going to really blow anybody away. He's a short, stocky left-hander who did punch out 63 and 59.1. It's a real pitchability arm. And that, I mean, to me, he's the perfect guy for that bulk arm in the bullpen. So they're starting him Friday, game 1, opening day. I do believe that's their best returning pitcher. So good nod to him. But honestly, if I were to place bets on if this is his role for the entire year, I don't know what I'd put it at. I'd probably have it at -105. Sean Jenkins is a guy that, I think he was a little overlooked when it came to like recruiting rankings because he reclassified. Top 400 player ranked by Perfect Game, top 120 in right-handed pitchers. But he's a 17-year-old. So I think he got docked big time when changing from the 2025 freshman class to the 2024 class. He's a 6'2", 200-pound right-handed arm. He's got a 4-pitch mix, mid-90s fastball. They are very high on this kid. It sounds like he has been dominating inter-squad scrimmages. And I do think the offense is more of the question for this team. So I'm not taking that totally at face value, but he has had a pretty good fall, winter, in preseason here with East Carolina. The third spot was officially announced as to be determined for Sunday's game opening weekend here. But I think Nick Moran is the healthy one with starting experience that could get the nod there. He's a Liberty transfer through 67 innings last season. Again, not really a guy that's going to blow you away. Another southpaw that just kind of pounds the zone with strikes. Last year he went 4-3 with the Flamin' Libs. The guys that are kind of in the conversation for the starting role, you mentioned Brett Antelik, Brad Pruitt as well. Jake Hunter returns after having some starting experience. He had a UCL internal brace procedure done in the middle of last season, middle or late last season, that kind of wiped him out for the entire summer. But he's a returning senior, one of the more trusted arms on this team. He's probably in the Norby role for right now, and then once the staff gets healthy, I think he's probably one of the top 3 arms that are a starting pitcher here. The other guy is Ryan Towers, another left-handed pitcher. He's from Loyola Marymount, threw 51 innings last season, 50 strikeouts. He had a Sierra of 432, which to me is a pretty good number there. And he had some arm tightness, arm soreness, discomfort there, and they shut him down in the preseason. So I don't know how long he could be out. There's not questions around the talent on the pitching staff here, but there's questions around what they can do with the production, because they lost a bunch, like we said at the top of the show, but specifically Trey Savage, Zach Root, Danny Beal, Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman, Eric Ritchie, all super important arms to last year's squad. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from that and start the season.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the big question. I've heard Cliff Godwin talk about this. He does like his pitching staff coming into this his bullpen, coming into to this season. It's one of the things he just said briefly when I listened to an interview with him. It's obviously health plays a big role, but they think he thinks the bats will be a lot bigger of a factor as the season goes along, which I feel like every coach says that. But I mean, still, the pitching departures are definitely one that you circle as can they rebound from that. Folks, want to tell you that the College Baseball Experience is part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and we are, football's over, but NASCAR is back. So start your engines, folks. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Daytona to sign up today for their free Daytona 500 contest to be entered to win $100 in cold hard cash plus a $100 SGPA gift card, and plus some random bonus prizes as well. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Daytona to sign up now, all for free. So get on over there and do that. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, we've partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors, essentially. And an Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, racetrack, or casino. And we all had that moment where you had a few whiskey sours. You're sitting there, you've been betting all day, taking the goddamn 7-horse doesn't hit, and then you Lucky Lindy doesn't get it done for you, and then you go to put some more money down on the next race, and you realize, whoa, I don't have any money here. Well, this is the old play action fake here with the Edge Boost. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. And the best part is no credit checks. They're not going to know that you owe the damn state of North Carolina 20 grand. All right. No. It's completely free. Sign up today. Use that promo code SGPN. I'm sorry. Yeah. SGPN. So you get better cashback rewards and instant tier 2 status. I've been searching for that my whole damn life. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet every single sport. Plus, there's props for every single game. The live dealer casino is a bundle of fun, and MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, even outside of the States. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. So get on over there. Head over to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Plus, they're going to give you a little $10 casino chip just to get your beak wet. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back talking Pirate baseball. Nothing like catching a game at the Jungle. If you're listening to this in the great state of North Carolina or wherever, maybe you're in Virginia, maybe you're in South Carolina, maybe you're in Tennessee, maybe you're in DC, Maryland, who knows? Get yourself play on a weekend. Go down to the Jungle, catch a game. There's nothing like it. One of the best atmospheres of college baseball. What's that?
I do want to mention before we move on from the pitching, Jaden Winter it's a name that needed to be said. He's been competing for a starting job the last couple of years. Tantalizing talent, but we'll see if he pans out. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just gonna say you get yeah, and that's good to note that. But yeah, just get out to a game at the Jungle. It's well worth it. And yeah, same with getting rowdy at the Dowdy. We got to get the basketball environment back up to what it should be. But yeah, football, baseball, these environments are incredible. We're working on basketball. We're going to fix this thing. When it comes to hitting, a season ago, their batting average was 309. That was 23rd in D1, first in the American Athletic Conference. Like I said, we're going for a 6th straight regular season title. And really, I mean, stolen bases. What do you make of stolen bases as a stat? What do you make of them finishing 97th in D1? Where do you put that? Like, do you pay attention to that nugget? Is that something that's really important to you, Bieniek?
It's not hugely important to 80% of teams, but some teams have build their identity around speed. So I don't think it's a stat that is needed to be like super, super good, because if you're too aggressive on the base paths, you could run yourself into some extra outs that you don't want to and some rallies. But I mean, the other 5 up here are pretty damn important. Home runs are way more important than stolen bases. Just when it comes to success in college baseball, there is a very strong correlation with teams that have power hitting. OPS is on base plus slugging percentage for, I mean, the dummies that don't know by now, but that's a really important stat. WRC plus is the advanced analytic that basically throws all offense into one number. I truly don't put a ton of faith in it, but I do think it helps just for face value, putting teams up against each other. And then strikeout percentage. If you are not putting the ball in play, you are not giving yourself a chance to win. It is college baseball. It is amateur baseball. Mistakes happen on defense all the time. You got to put the ball in play, in my opinion, in college baseball to win games. 13.9% strikeout percentage last year was the 4th lowest in Division I. So East Carolina excels at just doing the little things and making some contact, making the other team beat you, not beating yourself. So yeah, I really liked the identity of last year's offense. A lot of new pieces. We could talk about some of the departures here.
Yeah. And I think this is what Godwin was talking about. Like I said, I heard an interview with him saying that, he thinks the bats will come around. I feel like you can say that for a lot of every year coming into the season, but it makes a lot of sense when you see this, these departures, gigantic. Bristol Carter, Jacob Starling, Carter Cunningham, Jacob Jenkins Cowart, Justin Wilcoxon. I mean, these are major losses, but yet they're still projected, a lot of publications, to win the AAC. But how critical do you think it is losing that much production coming into this season, Bieniek?
Oh, it's a killer. I can't sugarcoat it any other way. And I mean, this team, I think, lost 6 regular bats. I'm forgetting one that I didn't list as notable departures here on our spreadsheet or the slide. I mean, too many letters and characters for it to even be legible. But they lost a shit ton on offense. And there's a quote from D1 Baseball's team preview here from the fall, their fall report from Cliff Godwin, that I think sums it up. There's a lot of newness, 31 new players, which is abnormal. Also, some staff, new athletic trainer, new ops guy, new strength coach, new academic advisor. He says, our portal guys came here for the right reason. They want to win and develop, but they're also good dudes, which sometimes makes me nervous because sometimes guys can get in the portal for selfish reasons. I thought that it was a really good mix of young guys. That's something that I wanted to talk about. I forgot with the Zach Root thing, but last year, Godwin, when they were competing in the regional, was kind of pissed off that he was playing guys that I believe the quote was, didn't want to be here. because they basically knew that they were transferring out as soon as the team got knocked out of the NCAA tournament. You look at Zach Root on the pitching staff, and then Bristol Carter was a freshman last year, and somebody that they were really hoping to build the team around because I believe he was a hometown kid and he transferred to Auburn. So like I said at the top of the show, I think he does it the right way. And when you do it the right way, sometimes you have some seasons where you have to rebuild and develop some talent. Let's talk about the lineup.
Well, before I talk about the lineup, let me just remind the folks out there that the college baseball experience also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, we got everything on Underdog Fantasy. College hoops every single night right now. NHL, NBA, UFL, that football league, CFL. I mean, the NFL too, college football as well. But that, obviously those are not for a few months. Whatever sport you can name. Now, NASCAR, they're fantastic with MMA. So sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. I really believe you can find an edge you can't find elsewhere on Underdog Fantasy. We play it every night on the College Basketball Experience podcast. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, SGPN's proud partner Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds. Look, you can copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard. I do believe you'll make some cash on that. But me, I like to build my own, and then Rhythm will adjust around that. They got everything too: MLB, college hoops, NBA, NFL, college football. Rhythm has it all. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we're back talking Pirate baseball. Projected starting lineup. Super excited. The key thing to note here is a lot of freshmen, a couple transfers, but the return of Walker Barron, Dixon Williams, which I know they're really excited about. Dixon Williams, who was a freshman a season ago. Colby Wallace, great name, Colby. Riley Johnson, and then, like I said, the freshman. Braxton Trammell, Keenan Bowman, a redshirt freshman, Austin Irby. I think these guys are going to play a pivotal role on this year's team. Jack Herring, the DH coming in from Rollins College, and then shortstop Alex Boucher, no relation to Bobby, coming in from the Monarchs of Old Dominion. Bieniek, what do you make of this projected lineup?
There's some questions. Certainly the 3 starting freshmen, one of them being a redshirt, but with not much, very little high level college baseball experience. It's a little nerving. Typically doesn't happen much at the top levels of the sport. And also Riley Johnson, one of the 2 stars returning in this lineup, I believe. He had off-season shoulder surgery. I don't know if he's 100% to start the season, but I do think that he's going to play the first weekend. He had a great year last year. Hit 339 with a 937 OPS. A very important piece alongside Dixon Williams, who had a tremendous summer. He went into the NECBL and he was awarded the MVP of that league. He batted 390 with a 949 OPS and 17 stolen bases. And last year for the Pirates, he hit 308 with an 896 OPS, 9 homers, 11 doubles, and he only had 28 strikeouts, 25 walks. And to me, like, that's just the epitome of like Pirates offense, is just smart, disciplined hitters at the plate. Colby Wallace is a guy that they are hoping to takes a step up here for them. He was a freshman last year, only had 81 plate appearances. But it sounds like they're moving Williams from third to second base in order for Wallace's bat to get into the lineup here. Austin Irby, the brother of Michael Irby, who's another bullpen arm on this team. He's got some power potential from the left-handed side of the batter's box there. He was ranked the #2 third baseman in the state of Virginia and was a top 15 overall third baseman. They are going to put him at first, I believe, to also get his bat into the lineup there. So you got a couple of guys playing a little bit outside their natural position. A couple of high school shortstops transitioning into the outfield, and Braxton Trammell and Keenan Bowman, both of them top 5 shortstop recruits in the Carolina States there, top 200 nationally. Braxton Trammell, a switch hitter with some power and discipline, and Keenan Bowman has some really good speed and some pop offensively there. Herring, they're excited about. That should be a good bat in that DH role. Defensively in the outfield, there's some questions surrounding him. And John Collins is the backup catcher here. He'll get probably a 70-30 split. The 70% going to Walker Barron, who was a freshman last year, only had 17 plate appearances. There's just not a ton of proven production in this lineup. And I mean, a lot of reports in college baseball you'll read, they're positive, but there are certainly some concerns. I mean, they'll have to iron out roles. This is certainly a team that you would categorize as they will play their best ball in May rather than in February.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, I'll be rooting them on in February there. What are the expectations we see right now? I mean, they're favored according to DraftKings or according to Bet Rivers, wherever you look at. They are favored to win the AAC. They're minus 200. I'm seeing right now at DK. What are the expectations? Because the second place projection wise on DK is Tulane at plus 600. So there's a pretty big gap between ECU, Tulane, Wichita, UTSA, Charlotte, the field essentially. What are the expectations, Bieniek?
Well, expectations to me are one, be competitive in every single game in the non-conference. They are a little light this year. They have their usual North Carolina series. There's not really a headliner coming in to the LeClaire Classic this season. George Mason, I think, is a series they should be able to handle. And Coastal Carolina will be the 50-50 coin flip there. But when it comes to conference, I mean, you expect to win a title. East Carolina has kind of ran the show in the last decade in the American Athletic. The addition of Wichita State from the Missouri Valley hasn't really gone as well as a lot of college baseball fans thought it would. This year, they seem primed to challenge. UTSA, also a solid team. But I think Tulane is the big-time title contender alongside East Carolina this year. If you are second or third in the AAC, it's not the end of the world. But you definitely want to be competitive because, as we all know, the net ranking is not kind to the little guy. And East Carolina's had RPI, college baseball, RPI. ECU's had some RPI issues in the past. They will have to take care of business during their midweeks in the regular season against some of the top teams. And that's when you just got to be competitive. Even if you don't have the experience, you can't be going out there and losing ball games by 4 or 5 runs. I do think that you want to see development from a lot of these young guys. Sean Jenkins would certainly be encouragement, but also the couple of freshmen that are expected to have big-time roles offensively. You want those guys to be noticeably better in May than when they are in February. And lastly, I would say be a 1 or 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. I think that's the expectation in Greenville, and I think this team can do it. It is, I would say, it is an uphill climb, one that hasn't really been the case for ECU in years past. But I do really like Cliff Godwin, and I think he's going to be able to get the job done, even with some of the injuries that they're already starting off the year with.
Yeah, I'm looking right now to make the College World Series. They're plus 550 at DK.
I don't think that's tremendous value.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, I'll still sprinkle it because purple and gold through and through, folks. Cannot wait Friday, George Mason. These Patriots think they're something. They don't even have a football program. They're fucking laughable. All right, start your damn football program, then talk to me. But right now, it's about college baseball, as my dog vomits in the back. But folks, subscribe to the here all year. Break it down. We've broken down all the conferences. Golden Spikes preview we did. I mean, we did everything. Conference preview to get to the College World Series. Go check out all those episodes. ACC, SEC, Big 12, Big 10. They're all out there. And make sure you give Noah Bieniek a follow on Twitter. Noah's on Twitter at NoahB77_. He's heading to Texas within a few hours to go catch the opening games for college baseball, a slew of them. So I can't even name the exact game because you're catching a bunch of them. I'm on Twitter at @Colby Dant. The College Baseball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. But don't forget, you can watch this show live. I recommend it with the slides each and every night and day all throughout the year. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. All right, folks, till next time. This is the College Baseball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the gamblers. Run